Topic under discussion today is music, and I will explain scientifically that how this music is going to affect your life. So today's discussion is actually composed of following points, 6 points. In the very first point, I will tell you people how normally we are feeling, what is happening normally in the body, and what is happening when there is excitement. During the excitement, how we feel and what is happening in the body. And in the next step, in the third point, I'll be talking that how we feel in depression and what is happening in the depression inside the body. And then in the fourth point, we'll be talking about in depression what we are doing, most of us what we do, that is actually about music. I will start my discussion about the music from here. Then I will tell you the result of listening this music, whether it is good, bad, how it is actually going to have effects on our body, and what are the results. Or at the sixth point, I will discuss with you guys about the point that is suggestion. I will suggest you. Anyways, before my suggestion, you people would have already got the concept from this topic, whether it is good, bad, means you will suggest yourself after listening and watching the entire lecture. Coming to the very first point, normally, what is doing, what is actually happening in the body normally. Very simple. In the central nervous system, normally we have neurons here. Those neurons are responsible to communicate and to give signals. Normal signals in the body are actually delivered. Now, these signals are actually maintained by certain chemicals, certain neurotransmitters, named as catecholamines. Now, catecholamines are actually dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin. These are released from the presynaptic neuron, and here we have postsynaptic neuron. So, in the postsynaptic neuron, we have receptors. These catecholamines, when they are released from this neuron, they will come and will bind to the receptor, and that receptor will receive this catecholamine, and then that will show the internal action inside the neuron, and this internal action will help in communication from one neuron to another neuron, and like this the messages are actually carried normally. Now what happens when there is increased activity between these neurons, there will be actually that will be because of what? That increased activity will be because of this dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. These are actually responsible to increase the communication between these two. And third point, that is, if there is decreased communication between these 2 points, or this will result into weak communication, and this weak communication will result into depression, and increased communication will result into psychosis, schizophrenia. This can be also pronounced like schizophrenia. Anyways, so when there is a normal release, there will be actually excitement. Okay, there is normal release, a little bit more release than the normal. Very simple. If there is normal release between the neurons, it's okay. A normal, more than normal, a little bit, not that much. More than normal, but a little bit more, not that much in excess. That will lead you towards what? Towards excitement. And again, if it is a kind less activity between these two neurons, not that much less, but a bit less than normal, so you will feel a kind of depression, depressed like. So you will not be in depression state. So what happens when there is excessive increase, excessive decrease? Then you will be having actually depression and psychosis or schizophrenia. In short, you will feel mental problems. Very simple and easy discussion. Okay. Now let's come towards the fourth point. That is, in depression, what we do is we go towards listening music. Now, what this music is doing, you might have been through these sentences like music is life, and another one that is dopamine music. Those who are creating music, they are actually saying that this particular song is dopamine music, dopamine song. Listen this will raise your dopamine. They're claiming correct. Why? The reason behind is music is responsible to release dopamine. Now, this dopamine, when it is released normally, it is going to do normal action. When it is released a little bit more than normal, then we'll feel excitement. And when it is released in excess, then our body will shift towards psychosis, schizophrenia, means mental problems will actually be seen. Now, you guys might have observed when you listen music, and after that, if you want to sleep, you will not fall asleep correctly. And now, recently, that I'm observing, and I'm asking from people, what do they suggest and what do they say to me? That yeah, whenever I'm going through the music, I do feel excitement, fresh. But normally, when I'm just having a kind of want to do rest, so in that condition, I don't feel like okay. And they're actually complaining this also, that society is very different from us. They're actually doing some kind different things. So actually, that person is against me. Means there are actually different sort of things happening to the person. Now that person is actually not understanding what is wrong with him or her. The reason behind is excessive chain smoking. Chain smoking. A person who is a fresh smoker is just smoking 1 2 cigarettes. With the passage of time, the person becomes chain smoker. The same is the case here. When a person is listening one song, he's okay with that, he's feeling fresh. But that one song, when you listen continuously, you feel fed of that. You move towards the next one, you become like this chain one. So like chain smokers, you also become a chain listener. So this is actually resulting into excessive release of this dopamine, and that dopamine is actually leading you towards mental problems. The case is in front of you. If you are feeling insomnia, euphoria, hallucination, delusion about yourself, that is just because of these all things which we are ignoring. Please stop ignoring, come to the point. And the result, you got all these results that is affecting you. When you're listening a song, two, three, four, you're becoming a chain listeners, then these will actually affect you guys like that. Don't become chain listener and avoid listening the music. Suggestion from my side is not to listen, and you have got suggestion, now suggest yourself also. Thank you for